Greetings and welcome to this workshop on how to prepare for a college application campaign event in a hybrid and/or a remote learning environment. My name is Joni Petshower, and I'm delighted to have this opportunity to share with you ideas that we have gleaned from our state coordinators around the country. So let's move into it. I want to tell you a couple of things beforehand. One, if you're a state coordinator hoping to use this host site coordinator training with your high schools or other community groups that are looking to host an event, you are welcome to co-brand this presentation. The lower right-hand corner is set aside for you to place your state branding materials. If you have questions about this or have difficulty doing it, do not hesitate to contact me. My contact information is available at the end of the slideshow. Second thing I want to share with you is that this is a 4-part presentation. I will have a slide at the end of each part asking you what your questions and observations are. You can use that as a stopping point if you're watching this on your own, or if you're hosting a training and trying to provide time for people to talk. This is an opportunity for you to stop the slideshow and ask people to share their questions or share their observations. So I'm hoping that this will give you an opportunity to feel like you can control how much you watch at any one time. So let's get started. First part is about ACAC, the American College Application Campaign, and its purpose and purposes. So what is it? At its heart, it is a low-cost, no-cost program designed to enhance and expand college-going culture and expectations in your communities, in your schools, in any number of places. Additionally, we have some elements that are really important to us. We agree that our goal is to increase the number of students that apply to, enroll in, and succeed at college. We do have a focus for first generation and students from low-income families, and that is because we know that we have higher percentages of Black and brown students who graduate from high schools but are not represented in higher education at equal percentages. It's an event that occurs in the fall, and that's because of the normal timelines associated with the college-going process. It takes place during the school day and as part of school activities, even when it's a virtual event. And that's very important because we need students, teachers, school staff to all understand that preparing for the next step is just as important as being a part of the classes that they're in when they're in high school. The in-school events might be held over 1 to 2 days if for some reason you are actually able to have students participate at school. But online events may require more days over a longer period of time. You need to look at what works best for your students and for your building. There are key reasons for the American College Application Campaign. 3 of them are noted here. One is that in order for the United States to be economically competitive in the world, it needs many more people who have post-secondary educational credentials. We are retiring the most educated workforce that America has ever had, and we are replacing them with a group of people who are not as well educated. We need to up our game in this area. Secondly, it is a matter of racial equality and equity. We really believe that there are many more students who are prepared to go to college or to enroll in some post-secondary option, and they are not doing so because they don't receive the assistance that they need in order to fill out the applications and to complete the process. And finally, employment stability is enhanced when a person has post-secondary education credentials. I'll show you in this next slide that if we look at what happened from March to May of 2020, which was during the global pandemic's first sort of awareness for all of us, 59% of the people who had less than a high school degree lost household income during this period. 51% of those who had a high school diploma or GED lost household income during this period. 52% of those who had some college or associate's degree lost household income during this period. But if a person had a bachelor's degree or higher, only 38% of those individuals lost employment income in their households. We need to ensure that students from our least privileged backgrounds are following the same college-going timelines and processes as their most privileged peers. But why do you host a college application event during a crisis? Why does it matter that you do this? Well, planning for the future does not stop because of uncertainty. We have to think about what our next steps are. Investing in one's education is the smartest way to deal with uncertainty. It is the key to opening those doors of opportunity. And as I just showed you, staying employed during the current pandemic was more likely if an employee had higher education credentials. So it's critical that we present these options and pathways to our students. Now, I want to clarify one thing. College, in the sense that we talk about it, is not just a four-year degree. We're talking about high-quality credentials and degrees that support a person having a livable wage job. This may be a one-year credential program. It may be an externship or internship or apprenticeship. It may be a two-year degree. It may be a technical degree. It may be a community college degree, or it can be a four-year degree. What's important is that students plan that they need some credentialing beyond high school in order for them to succeed in this world. I want to make a special note about the military. We are totally supportive of people who want to join our military. There are incredible opportunities to learn and to serve at the same time. But what we also believe is that all students should apply for some other post-secondary opportunity in the fall, because they can't join the military until the end of their graduation. And some things may change between the fall and May or June of the next year. And if that happens, it's always nice to have a backup plan, like a community college or a technical school or another program that they can take part of. So why should you host a hybrid or online college application event? Well, it's not ideal, I will say that. However, we do know that many schools will provide limited access to students during the school day, and there'll be many people clamoring for that attention. That's because some schools may have a 2.5-day week for students on campus and 2.5 days a week away from campus, while the other half of the students come in for 2.5 days and they go away for 2.5 days. We're going to see a number of absences that are due to quarantine requirements. The students themselves may not have an illness, but some member of their family may have it, and therefore the whole household has to quarantine. We're hearing from a number of states that non-school personnel will not be allowed in the schools. So how do you provide the resources that these non-school personnel will bring to bear on the student's success? This would be college admissions officers, financial aid officers. It could be any number of campus representatives. It could be parents and organizations that have supported you in this effort in the past. So what can you do creatively to address that concern? Social distancing expectations may make it almost impossible to work with students in groups, as many college application campaign events have been in the past. And so thinking about the limited number of students who can be in a computer center at any one time versus being able to reach all of your students virtually, makes sense to plan for this to be an online college application event. And then some students may have the option simply not to ever come to the campus. They may have the option to be 100% remote at home, or some schools and districts may be 100% remote from the start. So at this point, I want to tell you that we have finished the first part. If this is all the time you have for the moment to listen to the recording, I encourage you to pause it at this time, but carry with you the questions or observations you have about what you've just heard. How do you interpret that? What are the nuances that you want to know more about?